Hi, I'm glad you're here. Let me ask you one quick question. Do you ever wake up during the night to go to the bathroom? Once, twice, maybe even more? If you do, I want you to know something important right away. You're not alone, and this doesn't have to be your new normal. Waking up at night to urinate, doctors call it nocturia, is very common as we get older. A lot of people assume it's just part of aging and that nothing can be done. But that isn't entirely true. Regularly broken sleep can chip away at your energy, your mood, and even your memory over time. It can also make daily life harder. You feel tired, you can't concentrate, and suddenly small tasks take more effort. That matters because sleep is when your body repairs and recharges. When the sleep is chopped up, your whole day is affected. Now listen, I'm not here to scare you. My goal is simple: to offer practical, gentle, natural steps you can try that many people have found helpful. These are not miracle cures, and they're not medical prescriptions. They're common foods and small routines that are easy to adopt and that support bladder, kidney, and overall health in ways that make it easier to sleep through the night. Today, I want to introduce you to 3 little seeds. Yes, seeds you can buy in any grocery store, and a handful of simple bedtime habits that together can reduce those nighttime trips. We'll talk about how to use them, how much to try, and what to expect. We'll also be careful about safety. If you're on medications or you have serious health issues, check with your doctor before making big changes. So make yourself comfortable. Think of this as a friendly, no-pressure conversation about giving your nights back to you. Let's start with the basics. Why do so many of us start waking up at night more often as we age? There are several reasons, and usually it's a mix rather than one single cause. First, the bladder itself can change. The muscles that hold and release urine may get a bit less flexible or slightly more sensitive. When the bladder is more reactive, it sends stronger messages to your brain saying, "Time to empty," even when there's still only a little urine in there. Next, hormones change. Men and women both experience shifts in hormone levels as they age. Those hormonal changes can affect how the urinary tract functions. For men, the prostate can grow with age and press on the bladder, making you feel like you have to go more often. For women, falling estrogen levels after menopause can change the tissues around the bladder and urethra, which may increase urgency. Then there are the kidneys. As we get older, kidney function can decline a little, usually slowly and subtly. The kidneys might be a bit less efficient at concentrating urine, so you may produce more urine at night. Certain medical conditions, diabetes, heart conditions, sleep apnea, and some medications like water pills taken late in the day can also increase nighttime urine production. Lifestyle factors matter too. Drinking a lot of fluids late in the evening, having caffeine or alcohol in the afternoon or evening, or eating heavy salty meals late can all cause you to wake up more. And stress and anxiety can make your bladder feel more active. Here's an important point. Nocturia isn't usually dangerous by itself, but it's not just harmless either. Repeatedly waking up at night is linked with poorer daytime functioning, and in some studies with higher risks to heart and overall health, partly because sleep disruption affects blood pressure, stress hormones, and inflammation. Frontiers +1, that's why it's worth taking simple, safe steps to reduce how often you wake up. Even small improvements in sleep quality can boost your mood, energy, balance, and the confidence you feel during the day. Alright, now to the good part. Over the years, traditional diets and modern research have shown that certain seeds carry nutrients and plant compounds that support the urinary tract, lower inflammation, and even help hormone balance. They're easy to use, inexpensive, and gentle. I'm going to focus on 3 seeds that are particularly useful and accessible. Sesame seeds, tiny, crunchy, rich in minerals, and plant lignans. Pumpkin seeds, nutty, zinc-rich seeds that help the bladder, prostate, and sleep. Flax seeds. Ground flax brings omega-3s, lignans, and soluble fiber that reduce inflammation and help hormone balance. Each of these seeds brings a slightly different benefit, and when you use them together in small daily amounts, they support the urinary tract and help your body settle into deeper, more continuous sleep. For each seed, I'll explain what it does, how to use it, how much to try, and a little recipe idea. We'll also look at simple habits, timing fluids, light evening meals, and gentle movement, because seeds work best when they're part of a calm, consistent routine. Before we dive into each seed, one quick note. If you take blood-thinning medications or if you have significant medical conditions, check with your doctor before starting large amounts of any seed. Seeds are food, but they can interact with some medications. Let's begin with sesame seeds. If you've ever sprinkled them on bread, salad, or sushi, you already know they add a nice crunch. But sesame seeds are more than garnish. They're rich in minerals, calcium, magnesium, iron, and they contain plant compounds called lignans. For example, sesame. Lignans have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects, and magnesium supports muscle relaxation, including the smooth muscles around the bladder. Why does muscle relaxation matter? If the muscles around the bladder are a bit tense or irritable, your bladder can feel overactive. Sesame's minerals and compounds help calm that muscle tone gently, so the bladder is less likely to send urgent signals in the middle of the night. There are practical studies and research highlighting sesame lignans' biological effects. Researchers have looked at how sesame compounds act in the body and how they influence metabolism and antioxidant levels. PubMed +1. How to use sesame seeds. Simple, no fuss. Daily amount. Start with 1 tablespoon, about 9 to 10 grams of sesame seeds per day. You can go up to 2 tablespoons if you tolerate them well. That's a tiny amount, but packed with nutrients. Best forms, toasted sesame has a nuttier flavor, which many people prefer. You can also use tahini, sesame paste. A tablespoon of tahini works similarly, although it's higher in calories because it's ground into a paste. Easy ways to add them. Sprinkle a tablespoon on your morning oatmeal or yogurt, stir them into a smoothie, add to a salad, mix into a small bowl of fruit. If raw sesame tastes bitter to you, lightly toast them in a dry skillet for a minute or 2 until fragrant. It mellows the flavor. A gentle recipe idea: sesame yogurt spoon. Stir 1 tablespoon of toasted sesame seeds into a small bowl of plain Greek yogurt. Add a drizzle of honey and a few berries. It's quick, tasty, and the sesame mixes with protein in the yogurt to help stabilize blood sugar and calm bladder irritation through the day. What to expect? Many people notice subtle changes in a couple of weeks, fewer urge sensations during the day and slightly fewer wake-ups. The key is consistency. Sesame is not a single dose overnight fix. It's a daily habit that supports bladder balance. Small caution: if you have nut seed allergies, of course avoid sesame. And if you're on blood thinners, check with your physician before adding large amounts of sesame or sesame oil to your routine. Next, pumpkin seeds. These are the flat, green seeds inside the pumpkin, often sold as raw or roasted pepitas. Pumpkin seeds are one of the best natural sources of zinc and a good source of magnesium, plus healthy fats and plant sterols. Zinc is important for immune function and for prostate health in men, and it also supports tissue repair in general. Magnesium, as we mentioned with sesame, helps muscle relaxation. Even small improvements in prostate or bladder muscle function can reduce the number of times you wake to pee. There's also clinical research looking at pumpkin seed oil and extracts for urinary symptoms and overactive bladder. Some trials suggest that pumpkin seed preparations can reduce urgency and frequency in people with bladder overactivity. PMC +1, how to use pumpkin seeds. Daily amount: a small handful, about 14 cup, roughly 30 grams, is a useful target. You don't need more than that daily. It's calorie dense, so keep portions moderate. Best forms: raw or lightly roasted. Pumpkin seeds are fine. If you prefer salty snacks, choose unsalted or lightly salted versions. Excess salt can make you hold water and affect sleep. Simple ways to add them: snack on a small handful mid-afternoon instead of chips. Sprinkle them on salads or soups or mix them into morning cereal. They make a nice crunchy topping on roasted veggies and add a pleasant texture. One small additional benefit: pumpkin seeds contain tryptophan, an amino acid that helps your body build serotonin and melatonin, compounds involved in relaxation and sleep. That's not to say pumpkin seeds are a sedative, but they can contribute to a calm evening if used as part of a balanced routine. Practical idea: pumpkin oat energy bites. Mix 1 cup oats, 14 cup peanut butter, 14 cup honey, 14 cup pumpkin seeds, a tablespoon of ground flax, we'll talk about flax next, and roll into small balls. Keep them in the fridge for an easy, nutritious snack. Caution and notes: if you have a history of prostate problems or are on medication, check with your healthcare provider. Pumpkin seed products vary in concentration. Many studies use pumpkin seed oil extracts, but the food level approach, a daily handful of seeds, is safe for most people and a gentle way to start. Finally, flax seeds. Flax is different in one important way. It's best used ground. Whole flax seeds can pass through digestion undigested, so you need them ground or milled to absorb the nutrients. Why flax? Because flax is one of the richest plant sources of alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. Flax also contains lignans, a type of phytoestrogen, and plenty of soluble fiber. Together, these nutrients reduce inflammation, support hormone balance, and improve digestive health, all of which indirectly help reduce urinary frequency and support deeper, more restful sleep. There are comprehensive reviews summarizing flaxseed's benefits for inflammation, heart health, and metabolic function. PMC Plus 1, How Flax Helps the Urinary Tract, Anti-Inflammatory Effect. Chronic low-grade inflammation can make the bladder and urinary tract more irritable. The omega-3 fats and lignans in flax help calm that inflammation over time. Hormone support. Lignans act mildly like estrogens and can help balance hormonal fluctuations, which is especially useful for postmenopausal women. Blood sugar balance. The fiber in flax helps stabilize blood glucose levels. Big swings in blood sugar can cause increased urine production, so steady blood sugar supports fewer surprises at night. How to use flax seeds. Grind them fresh. Buy whole flax seeds and store in the freezer. Grind a tablespoon or two in a small coffee grinder just before use. Ground flax keeps better in the fridge for several days. Whole flax keeps longer, but ground flax can go rancid if left out. Daily amount: start with 1 tablespoon of ground flax per day. You can increase to 2 tablespoons per day over time if you tolerate it well. Ways to add them: stir ground flax into oatmeal, yogurt, smoothies, soups, or sprinkle on cereal. Add to baking, muffins, pancakes, as a fiber and omega-3 boost. A real-life practical tip: make a morning flax bowl. Cook a small portion of oats, stir in a tablespoon of ground flax, a dash of cinnamon, berries, and a few pumpkin seeds for crunch. It's warming, filling, and sets your day right. Caution: flax is high in fiber, so if your digestion is sensitive, start low and increase slowly. Also, flax can have a mild blood thinning effect, so check with your doctor if you're taking anticoagulant medications. Now that you know 3 seeds to try, let's talk about the habits that make the seeds work even better. Think of seeds as a supportive tool. They do their part, but habit changes are what let those benefits shine through. 1. Time your fluids. Drink plenty of water during the day so you stay well hydrated, but begin tapering fluid intake 2 to 4 hours before bedtime. This gives your kidneys time to process fluids while you're still awake and reduces the volume in your bladder when you lie down. This simple timing change is one of the most effective non-medical steps you can take. Professional guidance and patient leaflets often recommend this approach. Urology Health, Org 2, reduce bladder irritants in the evening. Caffeine, alcohol, and carbonated drinks can irritate the bladder and increase nighttime urination. Try to avoid these after mid-afternoon. Herbal teas like chamomile or a light ginger infusion can be soothing alternatives. 3. Light evening meals. Heavy, salty, or very spicy dinners can increase fluid retention and disturb sleep. Aim for a lighter dinner with veggies, lean protein, and some of your seeds mixed in. 4. Gentle evening movement. A 10-20 minute walk after dinner helps digestion and circulation. For some people, a short walk can reduce the urgency that sometimes appears at night. 5. Pelvic floor awareness. Simple pelvic floor exercises like slow, gentle squeezes as if you were trying to stop the flow of urine can strengthen the muscles that support the bladder. Doing 3 sets of 8 to 12 gentle contractions a day can make a difference over time. If you're unsure how to do them properly, a pelvic floor physiotherapist can help. 6. Sleep hygiene. Keep a consistent bedtime and wake time. Avoid bright screens an hour before bed. and make the bedroom cool and dark. Better overall sleep reduces the sensitivity of the bladder and the tendency to wake. 7. Monitor medications and health conditions. If you take diuretics, water pills, or other meds, talk with your doctor about timing. Sometimes moving a diuretic dose earlier in the day is a simple fix. Also, conditions like sleep apnea, uncontrolled diabetes, or heart failure can contribute to nocturia. So a medical review is sensible if nocturia is severe or new. All these habits are simple and kind to your body. Combined with the seeds, they create a gentle, natural program for deeper nights. If you're ready to try this, here's a friendly 30-day plan that's realistic and forgiving. No extreme changes, just small, consistent steps. Week 1, start slowly. Morning, add 1 tablespoon ground flax to your breakfast, oatmeal, yogurt, or smoothie. Mid-afternoon, eat a small handful, about 14 cups of pumpkin seeds as a snack. Dinner, sprinkle 1 tablespoon of toasted sesame on a salad or vegetable side. Begin tapering fluids 3-4 hours before bed. Week 2, build consistency. Keep the same seed routine. If digestion is fine, increase flax to 2 tablespoons divided between morning and evening. Add a gentle 10-15 minute walk after dinner. Replace afternoon coffee after 3 p.m. with herbal tea. Week 3, tune the routine. If you like, make a weekly seed mix. 2 parts pumpkin seeds, 1 part sesame, 1 part ground flax. Scoop a tablespoon of the mix into yogurt or porridge each morning. Try pelvic floor exercises twice a day. Notice when you feel thirstiest and move fluids earlier in the day. Week 4, observe and adjust. Keep going. Notice how many times you wake up versus before you started. If you see improvement, keep the routine. If little or no change, note that some causes of nocturia need medical attention. Talk to your doctor about tests or targeted treatments. What to expect? Many people notice small improvements within 2-4 weeks. Slightly deeper sleep, fewer small wakings, or less urgency. For others, improvements are more gradual. Celebrate every bit of progress. Even 1 less wake-up per night is meaningful. A few safety notes before we finish. Talk to your doctor if your nighttime urination suddenly increases, you have pain, blood in the urine, fever, severe nocturia 4 or more times per night, or if you have known heart, kidney, or prostate disease. These can sometimes be signs of something that needs medical attention. Medication interactions. Flax and sesame have mild blood thinning or hormone modulating effects in some people. If you take anticoagulant medications or hormone therapy, check with your healthcare provider before starting large daily amounts. Pumpkin seeds are generally safe, but check if you're on prostate medications or have specific conditions. Allergies and digestion. Start seeds slowly if you're not used to high-fiber foods. Increase the amount gradually to avoid bloating or gas. Keep seeds in airtight containers. Ground flax stores best in the fridge. Expectations. These foods are supportive, not cures. Nocturia can have many causes. For some people, a medical approach, medication, prostate care, sleep apnea treatment will be necessary. The good news is that combining natural supportive habits with medical care often brings the best results. Final encouragement. The point of all this is simple. Small, consistent steps give you back something precious. Deeper, safer nights, and more energy during the day. Seeds are easy to add, affordable, and kind to your body. Paired with smart habits like sensible fluid timing and gentle evening movement, they can make a real difference. If this feels manageable, pick 1 seed and 1 habit to start today. Try them for 2 weeks and notice any changes, then add another seed or habit. Little steps compound into real gains. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope this felt like a useful, approachable conversation, because that's exactly what it's meant to be. If you'd like, try this simple start. Tomorrow morning, add a tablespoon of ground flax to your breakfast and keep a small jar of toasted sesame on the counter for daily use. Snack on a few pumpkin seeds in the afternoon. Track how many times you wake during the night and notice any changes after 2 weeks. If you try this and it helps, tell a friend or family member. Small habits can make big differences when shared. And if things don't improve or you have concerning symptoms, please see your healthcare provider. Combining natural habits with medical care is often the safest and most effective path. Sleep matters. Your nights matter. With a few gentle, realistic changes, you can increase the chance of sleeping through the night again. Take care, be patient with the process, and trust that small, steady steps can bring back big benefits.